Hello everyone. Today we are going to start an orientation session for political science and international relations. Yes, so what is PSIR? So what do you expect from PSIR? So that we will study now. Yes, so how interesting is PSIR or how boring is PSIR? And people say, so how vast is PSIR? Yes, we will study today. Yes, we will see a glimpse of that. Yes, and to begin with, what all we will study with the PSIR? Yes, so first one, the PSIR is divided into two papers as usual. Say all your, yes, so now whenever I ask question, can you answer in the chat box? Good morning everybody. Can you answer? So let us keep the session interactive. Yes, good morning everyone. So happy weekends. Yes, so we will enjoy the class. We will not make it ki Sunday also we have come to study here. Yes, done. Now say we have two papers. In that paper one, there are two parts in the paper, part A and part B. So in the part A, so we will be studying mostly the philosophical part. Philosophical part in the sense we will be having the Western philosophy and the Indian philosophy. Yes, likewise. Say the Western philosophy we will be studying various thinkers like Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli. Yes, we will be studying Thomas Hobbes, we will be studying say John Locke. Yes, many others. Yes, likewise. So in UPSC, most of the questions and most of the part of this paper 1 part A is concentrated on the Western philosophy, and so if you study them thoroughly, so it will also be advantageous for your PSIR paper. Along with that, it is also advantageous for your ethics paper. Yes, likewise. And of late, people are UPSC people are concentrating on the philosophical essays in your essay writing programs. So hence for your essay writing, both Indian and Western philosophies will be very much helpful to you. You will get very good quotes, so which are very much equivalent and very much applicable to the life lessons. Yes, likewise. So the life lessons in the sense how not to waste time, or so how to work hard, how not to give up. Yes, or might be how everyone should participate, so in governance, so or any of such sort. So hence this part will be very much essential for your PSIR, and along with that it will be essential for your GS4 and your say essay papers. For GS4 and essay, so this will be very much important. Yes, likewise. So that means you are not studying anything new apart from GS. So unlike your physics, maths, IASbaba, Hatake, there it is all, you will be having 9-10 months syllabus, and they are completely separate from your say the GS. So hence whatever we are studying here, so they are mostly overlapping. So then we will see what we are going to study in the Western and Indian philosophy. Then moving forward, say we will go to part B of paper 1. So what we will study in the part B of paper 1? In the part B we are studying mostly about Indian constitution and Indian politics. Yes, so Indian constitution and Indian politics means say mostly it is GS2. So how the style of politics, so how the style of say Indian politicians, administration, so all these we will study. How a leader comes to power, so what all his ideologies, so all those things we will be studying here. And also we have to link some of the philosophies we learn in the constitution to the original philosophers from whom it was originated. Yes, likewise. Say for our constitutional preamble, so most of the things so we have taken from the French Revolution. French Revolution means Rousseau, Montesquieu, Voltaire, so all these people come. So we will make sure, say, how we have to link these things. So if you study this thoroughly, that is the part B of paper 1, like mostly you will be, say, studying the GS2. GS2 will be walkover for you. Yes, likewise. At the same time ऐसा नहीं करना है कि जैसे हाँ ठीक है हम PSIR में पढ़ेंगे तो we will neglect GS2. Yes, so don't neglect the GS2 just because you will study in optional, and when you come to optional don't neglect part B just because you have studied in GS2. So then it will be like, say, everyone's work is no one's work. So you feel that so polity teacher will teach you and you will neglect PSIR classes, and you feel that PSIR teacher will teach you and you will neglect GS2 classes. So both the ways it would be a vacuum. So don't do that. So study both the ways. So study in both. Say study in PSIR also, study in the GS2 also. That would be a revision for you. Yes, likewise. Now, so this is all about paper 1 and nothing new. So all things whatever you have studied, so in the GS the same thing you are studying here. And if you study Western philosophy, the ethics part, so you will be understanding it very well. So how you will be understanding it very well? You know the background. So how the philosophers, they have quoted many things. Yes, likewise. Yes, so that is why. So it would be very much essential for your essay and ethics. Then coming to paper 2, paper 1 is political science, friends. In the PSIR optional, paper 1 is political science and paper 2 is international relations. Yes, now say there are two advantages of studying international relations. One is like you have an international relations syllabus outright in the GS2. After polity you have international relations, and apart from that, so you will be having the international politics or the contemporary world history, so which you will also be studying. Most of the people, so you will neglect world history. So why you will neglect world history? ठीक है. So hardly one question comes every year, so why I should study? Yes, so now when you study PSIR, so your world history, contemporary world history especially, will be auto covered. Yes, so and apart from that, say you will get good examples from the world history to quote in your essays. Say now take one essay. So now how your essay will be? So you can give example from history, and mostly you will give example from Indian history because it is overlapping with your prelims. Yes, so like everyone knows the Indian history part, but there will be some, say 10%, 5% of candidates who substantiate their examples with world history also. Like if you are giving 5 to 6 examples, like you are also quoting world history examples as well. So now there will be a value added advantage, so when you quote world history, so say Treaty of Yandabo or say Treaty of Salbai, so all these things you quoted in the Indian history. At the same time, so you can also make sure that, so you will be quoting say Treaty of Camp David, Truman's Doctrine, so all those things. Yes, likewise. So if you make sure that say the international relations part is being covered, so then the world history part, the substantiation part in the essays, so will also be covered. Yes, likewise. So hence, so the paper has varied advantage, and so many times this is the one reason why the top scorers, so the rank 1 holders, so they hit very high marks compared to others in the overall GS and say the optional papers. Yes, so that is why PSIR has been successful in fetching you the top ranks. So 3 times it has fetched top rank 1 in the last decade, and at the same time, so there will be several ranks, so at least some say 30-35 ranks in the top 100. So that is why like this paper becomes say very much crucial and very much essential. If you master this paper, like so GS will be a backup, so it will be a backup for the GS as well. Yes, likewise. Now in the international relations paper, like in the part A, so again it is divided into 2 parts. In the part A, like you will be studying about the international politics. Yes, so how was the politics of Stalin, how was the politics of Gorbachev, how was the politics of say Richard Nixon, so all those you will be studying here. So that means like politics after World War II, so you will be studying extensively. Yes, likewise, and you will be getting very good quotes like say during the World War II. So when you study Hitler, so Hitler is a very radical person, and radical persons can only give inspiring quotes. Say if you see the psychology में if you see like Gandhi ji, Hitler, so all these people they had suicidal tendencies. Yes, इसलिए suicide नहीं करना है, but say they were emotionally a bit overactive, or might be so a bit more active compared to others. So that is the reason why say they could achieve something. So when you are emotionally bit reactive, so you will take the failures with utmost seriousness. So now you failed in 1 or 2 attempts. Hey, how can I fail? तो मैं फेल कैसे हो सकता हूँ यार? तो आई हैव टू स्टडी, आई हैव टू गेट बैक. सो हाँ, फेल तो हम बचपन से हो ही रहे हैं, ऐसा कौन सा कि व्हाट इज न्यू इन फेलिंग इन सब्जेक्ट्स. सो ऑल दोस थिंग्स व्हेन इट कम्स लाइक ऑब्वियसली say you will never work on your failures. Yes, failure is something like, so it is a norm for you. Yes, when you take failures as a norm, so obviously there is no growth. Yes, likewise. So hence I suggest you that when you go through the quotes of Adolf Hitler, he says, so like prepare for the worst and hope for the best. In which context he says, like when he goes to attack Poland, everybody will suggest that, sir, what you are doing, like say whatever you are doing is bad, like it will create an anguish, or it will create an enmity against the world and Germany. So he said that yes, I am preparing for the worst and I am hoping for the best. Yes, likewise. And he also says that I have taken a decision, and when I take a decision, so then it is like, so I think 100 times before I take a decision. Then after that, say reference books, Manoj, I'll come to the reference books. So initially we will start the syllabus with slides. I'll show you some of the reference books, so what we can study. Yes, likewise. Now say moving further, now it is like Adolf Hitler. So he says, I think 100 times before I take a decision. At the same time, so once I take a decision, I will not turn back even if thousands of hurdles come. Yes, so remember how many times or how profoundly you have used this philosophy in your life. Yes, so think 100 times before you take a decision. So once you take a decision, you will never turn back. So here, like we have to do UPSC also, we have to do say engineering also, we have to do MBA also, we have to do any other things also, like the life is very much jumbled up. Yes, to that perspective Hitler will be an inspiration, although a negative inspiration. Yes, likewise. Now apart from this, say moving further, like some of the hit ratios of your PSIR. So like say about 80 to 100 ranks come for PSIR optional out of the whole rank list. Some 700-800 ranks honge every year, 700 vacancies will be there. Out of them, like 80 to 100 ranks will be there, and in top 100 ranks, so there will be 30 to 35 ranks, as I said earlier. Yes, likewise. Now moving ahead, like the highest score in PSIR can move up to 310. So 310 means, imagine like, so this score is given only for your say PSIR and your other say the technical subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics, all those. So the hard work you do for physics, chemistry is much more compared to the hard work you do for political science, and whatever you study in political science, it is overlapping with the GS, and so when you study mathematics, so there is no overlap. And hats off to those people like who study mathematics, physics and also GS and then clear, because no say hatred for other optionals. ऐसा नहीं कि हम PSIR start करने के हम अच्छे हैं बाकी सब बुरे हैं, so that is not, but say it is only that the people who don't have knowledge on physics, chemistry, mathematics, so like even without having the technical or any other specific optional, so you can score 310 given this optional. Yes, likewise. Now say moving further, like we have the evidence of the current year rank 1 like 147 in paper 1 here you can see, and also like we can see 166 in the paper 2. So that means it is more than 300, 305. Yes, likewise. So hence it is always that. Yes, so a very good scoring subject. So in perspective of UPSC also, and for your life lessons also it is very good. And at the same time, like, so for your career in the future, say like UPSC is a journey, it is not a destination. Like, so no one will guarantee you any rank. Yes, so any teacher, मेरा खुद का नहीं हुआ है. Yes, so I cannot say that so we will all get rank 1 only. Yes, not possible. But one thing I can say is that, say if after giving your UPSC journey, despite success or failure, you have to move ahead. Either you will move ahead with your, say, UPSC job, whatever you got, or other jobs if you don't get UPSC. Now when you don't get UPSC, like, so you will go and work in an organization. So there you can understand what is a leadership skill. So how to cater to other members of the team. So before moving to any project. Yes, likewise. So then as a life skill, so PSIR will be very much helpful for you. And by chance if you are going into a political domain, so if you want to be in public life, if you want to serve the society, yes, say friends, like, say usually politicians are being, say they are put in the bad note by all, say UPSC aspirants or in the knowledge domain. So if they feel that politicians are less knowledgeable, so politicians are belittled in front of everyone. But say if we cannot belittle everyone, because politicians के पास knowledge नहीं होंगे, that is only academic knowledge, but they have knowledge of people, they know the pulse of people, which many of the bureaucrats they don't. Yes, so जैसे when we call bureaucrats for having any seminars, like, so people will start sleeping, but a person can never sleep in a politician's speech because he will keep them on the toes. Yes, likewise. So that is why politics comes with experience of meeting thousands of people every day. Yes, and so seeing the pulse of the people, knowing what is the demand, and many times when you fight in favor of people, so you will have to face off many things. So sometimes you will have to beg in front of someone for something, sometimes you will have to counter someone, sometimes you will have to request someone, sometimes you will have to motivate someone. So if all you are doing is for your, say, people, not for yourself. So when you do that, you will get a new experience. When you do the same thing for your team when you work in an organization, so your team will, say, think you like a godfather. Yes, अब भगवान है सर, तो like हमारे के लिए he is fighting like anything. So that is what the leadership skill comes. Yes, likewise. So in all perspective, PSIR can be one thing. And so if people who are, say, aiming for the top notch, कि rank 1 ही चाहिए हमें, so YouTube, Facebook में famous होना है, so then like multiple rank 1s, 3 times as I said, so it has come, the optionals have come. So if you prepare seriously, like, so seriously speaking friends, statistically, like only some 5 to 6% of UPSC aspirants out of 10 lakh UPSC aspirants, some 5 to 6 lakh of UPSC aspirants, they come with all preparation. Just 5% out of 10 lakh, so they come with all preparation. So only these percent of people, they have, say, all prelims ready, all GS ready, all mains ready, all optional ready. So others, like, they won't. Yes, likewise. Now hence, so people who are very serious enough and who are willing to hit the top notch, so you can go for this. Yes, likewise. Then moving further, so apart from the ranks, say how the overlapping occurs. Say here we have that the ethics and essay paper, obviously. So if you study the Western and Indian philosophies, so you can write very good, so answers in ethics and essay, because in ethics, like quote based questions, so they will be, say, very much, say, tricky. So if you are knowing the concept of the philosophers, you can answer them very well. Yes, likewise. Then moving further, like we have the polity, which we already spoke, which has an element of overlap, and at the same time, so we have international relations. So along with this international relations, you can add one more, so that is your world history. world history. Yes, and the concept of world history also you can add here. Yes, and these are the overlaps which we get in the political science and international relations. Now coming to essay, friends, like now UPSC has come up with mostly the philosophical essays, and in the philosophical essays, so here I have some of the quotes. So in front of you, Seneca's quote, so we are more often frightened than hurt. Yes, so we suffer more in imagination than in reality. So it means that, say, this is one topic which has been directly asked, so in your essay topic. Yes, so this is a PYQ of an essay topic. And I have one more quote, like Heraclitus says, so no man can step twice on the same river. So that means river keeps on flowing. तो अगर हमने एक बार रिवर के ऊपर पाँव रख लिया, so when we take back, we cannot keep on the same river again, because that part of river or water flows forward. So likewise, so now how can you apply PSIR knowledge to this? How can you write more profound answers for this? Yes, likewise. So now, say for example here, we suffer more in imagination than from reality. So mostly you will find out personal examples. So हम ओवर थिंक करते हैं, तो यूपीएससी में ओवर थिंक कर करके प्रीलिम्स नहीं निकल रहा है, गलती हो रहा है. यस, सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, सो वी विल ओवर थिंक इन द लाइफ, सो वी विल फेस सोशल ह्यूमिलिएशन. सो व्हाट इफ वी गेट इररिकरेबल डैमेज, सो कि अगर हमने वी टुक सम रिस्क, सो एंड वी गॉट सम ह्यूज डैमेज एंड वी आर नॉट एबल टू कोप अप. Yes, so these are your points you will write for essay. Now come to the PSIR. If you have PSIR knowledge, so what additional you can give for this topic? So I will say that, say why people will fail to revolt against the system. So you might be knowing Arab Spring. So Arab Spring में क्या है? So Arab Spring में, so like people took over the dictatorial regimes. So it started in Tunisia, then in Libya, so then in Egypt and in several other places. So like why people fail to revolt that easily? So now currently Gen Z revolution is going on Nepal. So why people fail to revolt? So why revolutions are very few and far between? Revolutions होते ही नहीं है. Yes, according to Karl Marx says रोज revolution होना चाहिए. So every day we have to go for violent revolution. Yes, so now say that is, we overthink even in terms of revolution. We don't take over dictatorial regimes because we tend to overthink. So we will feel that, so yes, so what if say the system curbs us? So why did we take 200 years to chase British? Because we overthought. Yes, we overthought the damage the British can so inflict on us. Yes, likewise, when that is the case, so hence it is always that, so we can write some additional points if you are studying the PSIR. Yes, likewise. So this quote was actually said in that context where people are fearing to revolt against the dictatorial regimes, or people are fearing to take on so that state, so which is bad for them. Yes, likewise. Then coming to second, no man ever steps on the same river twice. So here again it is, if you want to bring something change in the society, there is an apt time within which we can bring in. Yes, so that is the context of this essay in political science context. Say for example, in personal context, we should not waste time. पढ़ाई करना है, so Sunday waste नहीं करना है, so घूमने वूमने नहीं जाना है. So all this is one. So you can bring in quotes like stitch in time saves 9. So all those things. So at the same time, so we can also go for some more that, say if you want to bring a change, so there is one apt time where we have to bring the change. Yes, say for example 1991 revolution, LPG reforms of India. So that was the right time where we had to bring liberalization, privatization and globalization. If not, say then it would not have been possible for India to open its doors for the outer world. Yes, likewise. So say इसलिए like we can think in the political perspective and we can give several examples. Yes, likewise. So hence, like if you have learnt PSIR, so you will be getting very much advantage for your essay. So say you have seen the essay marks of the PSIR optional students and the toppers. So it would be somewhere around 125, 130, 130 plus. So how? Because so when you write some additional perspectives, when you write some unique examples, so when you write some unique things in the essay, only then you will get good marks. कि अब हम वही लिख रहे हैं जो सब लिख रहे हैं. So there will be one simple topic with power comes responsibility. हाँ, power came with गांधी जी, power came with नेहरू जी, power came with पटेल जी. So सबका वही आंसर है. So now you cannot expect additional marks. So if one gets 50 marks in one essay, others, if the handwriting is good, he will get 50.5. He will never get 60 marks. So if you want 120 plus in essay, you have to score 60 plus in each essay. So 2 essay लिखना होता है in UPSC for beginners. So we have to write 2 essays and each will be evaluated for 125 marks out of 125. So you can score 60-65 as the highest. Yes, likewise. Now, so you have been seeing the video. So how boring is PSIR? So we will see. So PSIR is actually very interesting subject. So but we have to know how to learn them. Yes, now I have one thinker, that is the famous person you can get to know by seeing his face. He is Karl Marx. So a very flamboyant thinker. So like you will see that a banda ऐसे कैसे सोच सकता है. Yes, so Karl Marx says that if you are not going for a violent revolution, if you are not a man of violence, so you are not fit to become my student. Yes, so he is as if like underworld don, like he is teaching violence for everyone. Yes, so now say why he says violence. So there is a logic behind that. क्यों बोल रहा है कि violence करें? So it is like he says, so history changes only in terms of matter. So he says historical materialism. So इसका मतलब है, so if you want to change the history, so it is only through matter in the sense luxury, materialism, money. So only money can change the history, nothing else can change the history. So throughout the year, all wars, aggressions, everything happened only for money, and only money can do this. Yes, likewise. Ab say when he says that only money can do, why money can do? Because in every society, so there is a rich class, capitalist class, and there is a poor class. Yes, now say the poor class, say they are bound with the capitalist class. So how they are bound? So they are in a false imagination. Yes, so in the false imagination, that means my boss is great, my boss is God, मेरा boss ही खुदा है. So whatever, whenever I have trouble, so he gave me 100 rupees, so that is why he is God. So we are in that false consciousness. Yes, so that he says that, so we are alienating from ourselves. हम अपने आप को भूल रहे हैं. So we are alienating because, so we always feel that boss is there. We don't know that, so once we stop working, our boss will kick out. Yes, so or once we stop, say, or once we did any unethical activity or any mistake, so we will not the part of the boss's organization. So that is why he says, so come out of your false consciousness, so come out of your alienation and make sure that, so you be yourself. Yes, so you be yourself, so don't alienate yourself, say, from you. So don't alienate you from yourself. So अपने आप को बोलना नहीं. So don't feel that, so I am not me, so I am someone else, I am boss's person, I am not myself. Yes, when you say that, so you stop yourself from alienation, come back, be yourself. And now say I understood that my boss is not the true, say, messiah of mine. So at any time boss can leave my hand, I have to look into my future. Yes, so we discussed historical materialism, history change from money, alienation. So the workers should not get alienated from their individuality. They should know that they are workers only. So they are not, say, completely belonging to the bosses all the times. So now they get to know that yes, so I have to revolt. My bosses are not that good, so they are indirectly exploiting us. Yes, now say after that, now the solution is revolution. Why revolution? Because revolution ही क्यों है? And he says the solution is only violent revolution. When I get to know I am just a worker, so I will go and revolt. Because so I cannot go and request my boss. Boss को हम request नहीं कर सकते हैं. So साहब के I have a request. कि हाँ बोलो क्या request है? सर कि आपके प्रॉपर्टी में हाथ दे दे. So will the boss give you? Yes. So you can request sir give 100 rupees कि थोड़ा urgent है, give 500 rupees urgent है, give 5000 rupees. So will you go and ask sir कि 50% vote चाहिए, so I am your yes shareholder. So say it is impossible. Obviously when you go for say requesting the haves, the capitalist class to give the property, no one will give. So hence the solution is the revolution. So only violent revolution can succeed. So we cannot go for silent revolution. That is not possible. Once Vinoba Bhave did it, like so he tried to motivate the people. So he wanted to bring everyone on the board. So let the zamindars donate some of the lands, and only some say 7-8% of people they did. So that means 7 in 100 people they donated, and no one did. Recently Modi ji also brought in give it up campaign. So for the LPG cylinders, people who already are well off, so give away the LPG subsidies. How many gave? So it is not possible to convince them to give the share for their property. We can convince them to do charity. Charity के लिए हम we can request, but we cannot request so to give half of the property. So this is the logic why he goes for violent revolution only. So ऐसा नहीं कि कार्ल मार्क्स जी पागल है कि so he says that so violent revolution करना ही करना है. If you are not violent enough, you are not my disciple. So it is because if you are going for silent revolution, you are impractical. Yes. So that is what he says. So this is how like everything has a logic. Yes, likewise. Now moving further, so here is one more person, Machiavelli. So again a very so shrewd thinker so of his class. And so what is the Machiavelli's thought? Machiavelli says like so there are two different ethics. So two different ethics. So there is a different ethics for a king, there is different ethics for a common man. Yes, likewise. So now say the ethics for a king is he has to go for any unethical activity for the welfare of his people or for the welfare of his kingdom. अगर kingdom को बचाना है, so you have to be daring to go for any unethicality for that matter. Yes. So for your people, for the sake of your people, आप किसी को धोखा देना है, you should go and say make that. So you have to go and cheat that person, deceive that person at any cost. Yes, likewise. So hence like for Machiavelli, the ethics king is different from common man's ethics. Yes. So now at the same time, so Machiavelli says so king should be clever like fox. Yes. So king should not only be broad hearted, he should be clever like fox, because there will be multiple people so who will be trying to take on the king. There will be multiple people so who will be trying to defeat the king and come to the power again. So at that point of time, so we have to be clever like fox. So then say we have to be brave like lions. So why we should be brave like lions? Because so we have to be say defending the territory and taking the decisions. And for two things, defending the territory and taking the decisions, we have to require a very good courage. So decision making is not that easy thing. So it takes so intense courage for that matter. So hence so we have to be brave like lions. So yes. So this is how say different people they said different things, and if you inculcate these things in life, so your thought process changes. Rene Descartes famously says, so I think so I am. If you think yourself as I am a king, so yes, so you will be the king. Yes. If you feel yourself that yes I am a common man, you feel yourself as a common man. Yes, likewise. Yes. So now one of my students, so say he was in a relationship. Yes. So now say that relationship broke out and he was very sad. Sir, like my relationship broke out, I am very sad. Yes. Now say I asked, okay, what is the aim of your life? So he said, I want to become a mass leader, I want to become a politician. Okay. Yes, if you want to become politician, you have to gather so the love of thousands of people. Yes. So now you are unable to tolerate the love of one girl कि ये प्यार के लिए रो रहे हो, मर रहे हो. So then say it feels that the God is seeing you and God has judged you that you are unfit to bear the love of thousands of people. thousands of love of people will be very heavy. Yes, so one controversial statement, so that love can overturn overnight. Yes, so that is why. So if you want to become a politician, so you have to balance the things. Yes, always. So in the personal relationship there will be positives, negatives. You have to learn balancing. So that holds for both, say, boys and girls. So yes, think like the kings. So don't think like common man. Yes, when you start thinking like king, so obviously there will be least, say, breakage in the relationships, least issues inside the family, and least issues, controversies inside the kingdom. Yes, likewise. So this is Machiavelli, and Machiavelli says, so we have to rule, a king should rule with the iron hand. So no soft power, no soft rule, only iron hand. So why? Because, say, there will be so many people willing to defeat the king. So only the iron hand, the deterrence or fear, can make the things work. Yes, likewise. Then moving further, so here we can see, say, one and, say, lady philosopher, say, a very flamboyant philosopher like, yes, Anna Arendt. So Anna Arendt was a Jew, and she has undergone the persecution of German, so persecution by German, say, Hitler's regime. So hence, so she is very critical of such totalitarian government. Yes, likewise. So in that perspective, Hannah Arendt is regarded as, so, the apostle of liberty, because totalitarian system they never gave liberty for anyone. किसको liberty दिया ही नहीं. Yes, your totalitarian means like your Indira Gandhi's times. During Indira Gandhi's times, so anyone speaking anything about Indira Gandhi, सीधा अंदर जेल में. Yes, so Lalu Prasad Yadav, then Mulayam Singh Yadav, say all the stalwarts, so of those times, so they were behind the bars, so they were in the prison. Yes, likewise. Now moving further, the positive and the negative liberty. So here is one beautiful concept, so which we can see. Say, now what is positive liberty, what is negative liberty? Say, negative liberty means like you are free to do even the negative things. So पीना है, smoke करना है, drink करना है, so do whatever you want. Yes, so one of the most apostles of negative liberty is your Bentham, Jeremy Bentham. So Jeremy Bentham, so he is outright liberalist. So he says that true liberalism exists only when so you have absolute freedom and there is no one stopping you from doing anything. Yes, so you smoke, you drink, you force others smoking, so no one, say, will stop you. So this is liberty. And say Gandhiji is actually a favorer of such liberty. Gandhiji favored such negative liberty. क्यों है? So they favored such negative liberty because Gandhiji once famously says that true liberty exists when the most criminal is vehemently spoken in public. Yes, so true, say, liberty exists when even the most criminal is vehemently spoken in public. मतलब even if someone is speaking a criminal element outrightly and outspokenly in public, so therein lies liberty. So that means he also gives chance for negative liberty. And Gandhiji also says liberty means the opportunity to make mistakes, to commit mistakes. Yes, likewise. So hence, like Jeremy Bentham is one thinker, so who has given the negative liberty. So Jeremy Bentham says like, say, so the liberty exists in the absence of state. And the same goes with Thomas Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes also says that, say, in this nature everybody is selfish. Yes, so everybody is selfish, everybody wants more and more possession. So you want, say, more and more wealth, more and more fame. So there is a competition that exists, so among them. So when the competition exists, so now, say, people are so selfish that, so they will be ready to even kill each other. Yes, so when people are ready to kill each other, so that is the true liberty. And Thomas Hobbes says, so this liberty will not survive for longer time because, say, this liberty will lead to barbarism. So he famously says that, so if there is no state, so in the true liberty there will be state of war of all against all. So that means state of war of all against all का मतलब everybody is fighting against everybody in the true liberal state. Yes, hence, so that is Thomas Hobbes says, so such liberty does not say exist, or it is not needed, because so such things will lead to barbarism. But Jeremy Bentham says no, such liberty is needed. So although these people they spoke of negative liberty, Thomas Hobbes says such liberty is not needed. He says such liberty is needed. Yes. Then coming to positive liberty. Positive liberty is that where like the presence of law. So matlab in the presence of law whatever liberty you can get, so that is the positive liberty. Yes, likewise. Now say in the positive liberty, say I compare that with your front bench student and last bench students. Front bench students obviously मन के सच्चे होते, बच्चे मन के सच्चे. So now say whenever they want to have liberty, okay, so they will take permission of the teacher. Sir, so can I go out? I have to speak to my parents. I have to go out. I am not feeling well. Yes. So now, sir, I have to sing in the classroom. So can I come and sing for a while? Yes. So this is the positive liberty. Liberty in front of the teacher. Liberty in the presence of law. So last bench के students. So when I call last bench students कि भाई आके गाना गाओ, कि सर आप बाहर जाइए पहले, तो हम गाना गाएंगे, आप बाहर जाइए, क्योंकि पता नहीं हम कौन सा गाना गाएंगे, आप कब डांटोगे कब पीटोगे पता नहीं. So I don't know when you will scold, when you will hit. So you just go out. So that means last bench students they want a negative liberty. Front bench students so they want positive liberty. Yes, likewise. Now Hannah Arendt, so she says, so in the totalitarianism, so there is no liberty, because in the totalitarianism the law is made by someone else. Yes, so when the law is made by someone else, so then there is no liberty. But when people participate themselves in making the law, so in the true democracy law will be made by the people, and then the liberty comes in the presence of law. So that is true liberty. Yes, so liberty in the presence of law. The same way John Locke says, so people should come together and form a social contract, and when they form a social contract, so कि उस समय the social contract will be in the favor of people. So and then the law themselves will give liberty. Say for example Indian Constitution, it gives liberty of speech. So that means so there is liberty in the presence of law. Yes, so when we speak, so if our speech is non-controversial, even the Supreme Court or even the Parliament or anyone, even the President cannot stop us from speaking. Yes, likewise. So like varied concepts, so you will learn so how the positive liberty, negative liberty happens. Jeremy Bentham's philosophy is called as pig's philosophy, कि सुअर की philosophy है. So that means like there were staunch criticisms for this. And friends, who are philosophers? ये philosophers कौन हैं? So these philosophers are the people so who underwent the bad rule in their state, and they were not happy with that rule. They came out and they gave an alternative, and as they gave an alternative, so now the king saw that alternative and he didn't want alternative. He kicked them out of the kingdom. Yes, so you imagine Kautilya. So Kautilya, why did he write? He was frustrated about Nandas. Yes, likewise. The same way, why did Plato write all these things? Plato was very frustrated because his teacher Socrates, so he was given poison, so and he was killed in front of him by the kings. Yes, by the Athenian kings. So that is why he wanted to take a revenge against Athens. So and he wanted to change the regime, and he wanted to bring down those people, and he wanted to instill a philosopher king. So a philosopher king means who is equivalent to Socrates. Yes, likewise. So these are some of the things. Now say we studied the concept, so the liberty, the positive liberty and negative liberty, so the linkages. So say while studying the negative liberty I gave the concept. Gandhiji was a favorer of the negative liberty. Yes, ऐसा नहीं कि गांधी जी नेगेटिव कैसे बोल सकते हैं. So these are philosophical. It is not about good or bad. It is only about positive and negative. Yes. So as per Jeremy Bentham, like anything is done only for pleasure. So that is why there is no difference between the people. So a murderer, he does murder for pleasure. So a speaker, he speaks for pleasure. A teacher, he teaches for pleasure. So a sports person, he takes part in sports for pleasure. So when all these things happen, so obviously men are equal. He says that so a game of pushpin is as good as poetry. That means pushpin is छोटे बच्चों का खेल है. So that is, so they will say push the pins into the board and they play. And so the poetry is the person who writes the poem. So for him, so both are equal, because that poet is doing for his pleasure, and so this pushpin game is done for the pleasure of the kids. So both are pleasure only. Yes, likewise. So hence, so there is no difference between you becoming doctor, engineer, or you becoming Bevda. So both are for pleasure. So I have pleasure to become doctor, engineer, I became. So I have a pleasure to drink and so merry make, I made. So likewise. So Gandhiji, so he also supported that negative liberty, because he said so liberty means freedom to do mistakes. That means freedom to go against the law. So that means so true freedom lies when there is no law. Yes, done. Next. So the positive liberty was best explained by Amartya Sen. So Amartya Sen, he says freedom is enlargement of choices. That means so the law is giving you such a freedom. So inside that freedom, so you can choose your career. So you can choose say what way of life you want. You can choose the place of stay of yours. You can choose like so what creative things, hobbies you can opt. Yes, you can choose what height you can grow. So do you want to become PM, you can become. Do you want to become CM, you can become. No, I am happy with Gram Panchayat member, you can become. You can remember one girl, Chevi Rajawat. So she had completed foreign degree and she had contested for Gram Sabha elections, and now she is a Sarpanch. So her dream was to change her village. Her dream was not to change the nation. So it is well and good. So that is for say her choice. So that is why. So whatever Amartya Sen says is so liberty in the presence of law, not in the absence of law. Yes, likewise. Yes, now the same thing John Locke said. So in the social contract, so when people come and make the law, so it will give maximum freedom to the people. Yes, only some minimum things will be taken by the state, but maximum things will be endowed to the people. Yes, likewise. Even in the Indian constitution, many things are given to the people only, and only few things are taken back. Yes, likewise. Then, so once you study things, so we will take how your course of study will happen. Say first we will go to the class. So inside the class we will study the topics how we have studied in detail, and after that so we will go for the examples. Say if now once so we take up any concept, so we will take up various examples. I gave example of front bench and last bench students, so how the positive and negative liberty works. Yes, likewise. So with the help of examples you can study them very well. And so then we go for linkage, linking the 2 to 3 thinkers. If you are studying Plato, we will study how it is linked to Aristotle. If you are studying Karl Marx, how it is linked to Gandhiji. Or so we can also link so this to the international politics or the Indian politics or anything for that matter. Yes, likewise. Then so moving further, answer writing. So when you do the answer writing, so we will be having the live answer writing sessions every day in the classes. So there, so we will make sure that say we will give a question and we will take 10 minutes time. So the question will be on the same topic what we dealt in that very class. So now your memory will be very much powerful. So because your fresh memory will be there, because you are writing the answer on the topic which we studied on the very day itself. So that is why your answer writing skill will be improved on the same day. Yes, because say friends, I particularly suggest your answer writing will not come by reading notes and revising them. You cannot become a driver by reading a book of driving. You will become a driver only when you sit in front of the wheels and drive. So you write good answers only when say if you have say good answer writing practice. So that is why take the good answer writing practices. Yes, likewise. Now so here is a simple question. So one Plato's quote. So state is individual writ large. So even a common man can understand this. So that means so state is the macrocosmos of the individual. So what applies for the individual, the same applies for the state. Yes, likewise. Now say how to answer this. So how I want the answers to be done. say I want the answers to be written in paragraph only, because say the whole community writes in the paragraph and our teachers taught us to write in paragraphs, so we will not take the risk, we will also go with paragraphs only. So now say in the first paragraph we will write introduction about Plato, then we will go for say 2 to 3 paragraphs, so speaking about say why Plato said this, or what Plato's intent was, and what was Plato's theory when he said individual writ large. So that means 2 to 3 paragraphs should be on the quote and the Plato only. And I suggest friends, don't write about Plato which is apart from this quote. So Plato might have said many other things, so I want only what Plato said in context of this quote only, so that is enough. Then so we will go for some 2 more paragraphs where we will write what other thinkers wrote about this quote, or what other thinkers opined about this concept. So then comes the linkage. So just like we saw, we learnt positive negative liberty, and we have learnt what Gandhiji and Amartya Sen said. Then 1 paragraph we will write about the current relevance. So how this is relevant in the current today. Yes, so in the current relevance, so you perform your duty and so you enjoy your rights. Yes, likewise. So if everybody performs the duty very well, so the whole state will perform its duty very well. So state is individual writ large. Yes, so contemporary relevance and 1 conclusion. Yes, likewise. So that means overall your answer should be introduction, explanation of the quote, then linkages with other thinkers, then current relevance, and then conclusion. If you give all this very thoroughly, and if your answers had quotes and keywords in the of various thinkers, so then you can get 6 marks out of 10 here. Yes, so that means 60% of the marks you got. Say out of 250, if you get 60% of the marks, so then your marks will be somewhere around 150 out of 250. So if you get 150 in one paper, in both the papers you will get so 300 marks. Yes, likewise. So these are say the answer writing skills, and so you score 6 marks in my evaluation, obviously you will be say scoring say 300 marks. So all is that, so you have the syllabus, you have the answer writing practice, you have the tests. Every fortnightly we will be having the tests. So and in that, so we will be taking off say what all say the marks you will be getting, and we will be tracking your performance. Yes, likewise. So now this is how the subject goes, this is all about the class, how it goes, and we will study the books, reference books which we have to read. Friends, I suggest that say there are so many books for each part of the syllabus. So for paper 1 part A there are different books, paper 1 part B there are different books, paper 2 part A part B there are different books. So that is why, so all I require is, so be very authentic and be very so attentive in the class and take down the notes. So that is more than enough, and these books let us keep as reference books. Yes, so here we have the Andrew Haywood book, so for Western philosophy, O.P. Goba, again Western philosophy, so Indian political thought by O.P. Goba again. So say we can prefer either of this book, but keep it as a reference book. Don't read page by page. So reading page by page so will not be that great. Yes, likewise. So hence, like you can prefer O.P. Goba. So people who cannot see here, I will be writing here O.P. Goba books or Andrew Haywood books. So O.P. G-A-U-B-A, O.P. Goba books, Western and Indian political thought. So political thought by Andrew Haywood. Because no political science thinker will put the content for UPSC syllabus, they will be say making the content as per the MA or BA syllabus. So that is why we cannot get absolute UPSC syllabus oriented books. And coming to part B, Indian politics. So here we have Subhash Kashyap's book Our Constitution. Friends, Subhash Kashyap, he is a very famous historian of Congress government. He has written on both ancient medieval India also. And so here there is say politics by your Pratap Banu Mehta and Neeraja Gopal Jayal. So both are famous thinkers, Neeraja Gopal Jayal and Pratap Banu Mehta. Pratap Banu Mehta. Pratap Banu Mehta. Yes. So like Subhash Kashyap's Our Constitution and Pratap Banu Mehta and Neeraj Gopal Jayal politics. So we can refer for this. So this also contains the GS2 polity part again. Then come to next. So paper 2. Say this is all about international relations and international politics. So here the Chris Brown's Understanding International Relations can be one book. So here the Chris Brown, the International Relations by Chris Brown. And so here the three authors like John Baylis, Steve Smith and Patricia Vovens. So Patricia Vovens and the Globalization of World Politics. So you can use these books. And here what we have is both the books, they contain about the world politics after World War II. Yes, contemporary world politics. So we can get here. Yes, then so part B, India and International Affairs. So that is all about your GS2 IR part. So here we have say David Maloney and so your Raja Mohan and so Srinath Raghavan. So say I suggest rather than going with the three authors, go for Oxford Handbook for your Indian foreign policy. So this can be one. And so here Indian foreign policy by Harsh V Pant. Yes, likewise. So these are say some of the books which we can study. And say obviously in the last I want to say is like say PSIR is one subject so which is helpful for everything of your life. So your career, your life skills and your UPSC preparation and your dream of hitting top notch in UPSC. Yes, so to what extent I convinced you, I don't know, and I so just wanted to be an ambassador of PSIR. So I came in front of you. I wish you all the best for your studies and study well, study with utmost seriousness. Don't be those 95% of students who go to exam hall without proper preparation. So खुद का आधा syllabus हुआ है, उधर क्या लिखेंगे जाके. So rather than that, so complete your part. So once you complete your part, now the conversation between you and the God. So like say for example you did everything. So after so many attempts you couldn't clear. Your attempts are over. Sit in front of the God and now ask, say I did everything. So what a human being can do. And despite that, if I didn't clear, it is your mistake, not my mistake. Yes. So then if Bhagwan is in guilty, so Bhagwan will never stand on the guilt again. So he is a very perfect person. If he is guilt, so if he feels that yes, this candidate was sincere, I couldn't fetch him the luck, he will give 1000 times the luck. So after, and UPSC can offer you only IAS. So but so your God can offer you much more things, 100 times more than IAS. Yes. So now take for example my name is Adesh. So कुछ नहीं बिगड़ा है जिंदगी में. So I didn't कुछ नहीं उकड़ा है जिंदगी में. So like I write Adesh IAS. Obviously IAS looks bigger क्योंकि मैंने yes. So I didn't get even postal service also. So this looks bigger. Yes. So this is a feather on cap on my name. But I cannot say this is a feather on cap if I replace this name and I add Abdul Kalam. Yes, because say Adesh IAS, so that IAS is given by UPSC. But who is Abdul Kalam? The way Abdul Kalam is given by God. God gave Abdul Kalam the status of Abdul Kalam. So that is why say we cannot replace this one. So that is why if God is on guilty, he will give 1000 times. Abdul Kalams are also failed in many competitive exams, but say he succeeded because so he had the grace of God. And by chance if it goes reverse, like when you stand in front of God, okay, so when God asks, okay, when everyone was studying you are sleeping, when everyone was studying you are roaming, so then God will be helpless. So that is why, so be a probable candidate, so be perfect from your side and let God see so how much perfect he can be. Yes, so all this only we can do in UPSC. This is all we can do, so not more than that. So that is why to read and study with the fullest satisfaction. So that satisfaction you get when you come out of the exam, all that, yes, I did it to the best of my capacity, and whatever I have done, so I have done so to the fullest extent, and this is what maximum I could do in the exam. So that is more than enough. Don't worry about the marks, don't worry about the rank, don't worry about the service. Yes, all the best from my side. Good luck, friends.